What's up, PokeMoshPit? This is Heydude69. I upload Pokemon videos, and I happen to be an underused player. Underused is my specialty and my favorite tier. So today I'm going to bring you an underused battle against Cubsunited77. So he's going to lead with a Toxicroak. I'm going to lead with a Moltres. I'm going to go for my Stabbed Air Slash because it's super effective, and this is a special sweeper. And I want to get as much damage as possible on his team. So he goes to a Lantern, which is a very good Moltres counter. I do have Hidden Power Grasp, but Lantern's got really good special defense, so I know it won't do very much. So I'm going to switch into Registeel, because Registeel can counter Lantern pretty well. And I just want to set up my Stealth Rocks, since I want to get them up sooner rather than later. And he does switch out, and he goes to a Torterra. Now, Torterra could be either a wall or a physical sweeper, so I decided to switch to Heracross just to take anything, and he goes for Stealth Rocks, so that pretty much tells me he is a wall, which is much better for me, because if he had been a sweeper, that would have been pretty bad. So I'm going to go for Mega Horn here to try to bluff the Scarf, and this Heracross is actually not a Choice Scarf user. It's not even choiced at all. It's a rest-talking mono attacker, so I go for the bulk up here just to kind of scout to see what he's going to do, and he goes for Toxic Spikes, which is fine with me because I have no Toxic Spike weaknesses on this team. I have two Poison types who can actually absorb the Toxic Spikes, so I go for the Mega Horn here. +1, it does a lot of damage to Drapion, who's a physical wall, and the reason I didn't go for a second bulk up there is because I thought he might have Whirlwind, since most Drapions do, but because he went for a knockoff, that pretty much tells me he doesn't have Whirlwind, so I'm free to set up here. I go for the Mega Horn again just to finish him off here, but I miss, and he goes for Cross Poison. And it doesn't do a whole lot because I'm at +2 now, so that's quite nice. And he does get a crit here, which leaves me at 19 HP, which was really quite annoying for me because now I'm forced to rest instead of killing him off, and while I'm resting, he's going to be getting leftovers recovery each turn, which is kind of annoying for me. So, plus I don't even have leftovers recovery to help me recover my HP, so he's just going to keep spamming Cross Poison, so I guess at this point he doesn't really have a whole lot to deal with this Heracross, which is perfectly understandable because this Heracross set is just an absolute monster once it starts setting up. So I Sleep Talk a Rest, which sucks, but what can you do? It's got a 1 in 3 chance. So he sets up a second layer of Toxic Spikes, 100% okay with me, because, like I said, it doesn't affect me at all. I Sleep Talk a Rest again, so luck really isn't on my side, as he gets a second crit here, and nearly takes me out again, so this is really not too good for me, but I am going to rest on my second turn Wake, but that's kind of unfortunate, because I shouldn't have had to have rest there. I should have just been able to go for the Mega Horn, but because of the crit, I was forced to rest, so he's just going to keep spamming Cross Poison, and I'm just kind of hoping that I'll get the Mega Horn at some point, which I do on this turn, and at +2 with a Guts boost, that's going to easily destroy that Drapion. So that's awesome for me. So he's going to go into Typhlosion now, and whether he's Scarfed or Specs, I really don't think it's a safe idea for me to stay in here, so I'm going to go to Slowbro. I did forget about Toxic Spikes here, but that really couldn't have been helped, because both of my poison types would have been destroyed by Typhlosion. So he goes for Focus Blast, I guess predicting me to switch, so that was a pretty good prediction, but Slowbro is part Psychic, so that Focus Blast is not going to do anything to me. So he switches out and goes back to Toxicroak. I guess he predicted me to Surf here, but I switch out to Venusaur, predicting his switch to Lantern. But he didn't switch to Lantern, so that kind of blew up in my face. And since he was a lead, I was fairly certain he had Taunt, so I decided to switch back to Slowbro, since even if he does attack me, it won't do a whole lot. And he does have Taunt, so that worked out perfectly for me, because Slowbro isn't really bothered by Taunt against a Toxicroak. So he stays in, goes for Sucker Punch. I went for Psychic here just because I wanted to hit something before I died, but I do live the Sucker Punch, surprisingly. I didn't think I would. And he did have a Life Orb, so that surprised me even more. And this Psychic is going to be an obvious one-hit KO. It's super effective, and it's stabbed, and Slowbro does have very good special attacks. So I'm also going to live the Toxic Poison, which is really awesome, because now I get to see what he brings in. And he brings in a Zangoose, so I'm going to stay in here just to see what he's going to do, just in case he wants to Swords Dance, I can get a Surf off, but he Pursuits, so I thought that was weird, because that's pretty rare on Zangoose, plus he's Life Orbed, so I didn't know what was up with that. So I bring in Registeel. I was aware that he had Close Combat, but I knew I could live it, because Zangoose's attack is not that great, and it's unstabbed, so I'm going to get a Thunder Wave off. I didn't really have anything else to switch into, because everything else probably would have been outsped, since this is a pretty defensive/bulky team. So because of the defense drop from Close Combat, Ironhead is going to be a one-hit KO from my Registeel, which is awesome, because that Zangoose went down having done pretty much nothing. So he brings in Typhlosion again, which is fine with me, because every time it comes in, it's taking a quarter from Stealth Rock damage. And I'm just going to leave Registeel in here to die since I don't really have a safe switch with Slowbro gone. I do have Moltres, but after Stealth Rocks, Moltres would definitely be 2-hit KO'd by a Lava Plume, so that's kind of unfortunate for me. So I decided to bring in Moltres now. I'm going to Roost on the switch. I wasn't sure if I could live the Lava Plume or not. If he was Scarfed, I probably could. If he was Specs, I definitely couldn't, so I just kind of took a gamble there since I didn't really have much of a choice. But he did switch into Lantern, so that's great for me because now I'm going to get a Roost off. I'm going to be able to live another Stealth Rock switch in. And now I'm going to switch to Venusaur because I know I can wall this Lantern regardless of its moveset. Even if it does have Ice Beam, it's not going to hurt me a whole lot. He does get a Crit Surf. It does a bit more than I would have liked, but wasn't too big a deal. I Sludge Bomb here instead of Sleep Powder because I thought he would switch into Typhlosion, and if he had switched into Typhlosion and I missed Sleep Powder, that would have been absolutely terrible. I would have been in a horrible position, so I didn't want to take that risk. And Sludge Bomb doesn't do a whole lot, but he stays in an Ice Beam, so I know I can live another one because of how much the first one did, and I missed my Sleep Powder there, and then he gets a crit Ice Beam, so Hacks is really not going my way this game. It's really working against me, and it's making things very difficult. So I lose my Venusaur there, which was bad. I didn't even get to put anything to sleep. I didn't really do anything with my Venusaur at all this game. So I bring in my Nidoking, who he hasn't seen yet, and I'm just going to go for the Earthquake. No reason to overpredict here. Earthquake will hit anything on his team. So he stays in, he just lets me kill it, and with a Stab, Life Orb, Max Attack, it's obviously going to take him out. So he goes to Torterra now. I don't want to get hit with an Earthquake, so I take the risk that he doesn't have Stone Edge, and I go to Moltres, hoping that he will Earthquake. And fortunately for me, he does go for the Earthquake, so that's fantastic. Now I'm going to be able to hit him with a Stab Fire Blast, and if he switches to Typhlosion, even though he resists it, he's not going to be able to live one after Stealth Rocks. So I do hit the Fire Blast. That's going to take out the Torterra. And his last is Typhlosion, who's going to take another quarter from the switch in from Stealth Rocks. And after Life Orb, he's going to be able to finish me off with a Lava Plume, but it's not a big deal because I can come in with my Nidoking, and I have priority, which is Sucker Punch, and Sucker Punch will finish off this Nidoking. So, good game, Cubsunited77. You guys are please check out my channel if you want to watch some more Pokemon vids. So, comment, like, sub, and yeah, catch you later. Peace.